Hello, Scrappy friends. You know the drill. This is a pullover from Facebook. So for some of you, this may be a repeat, but for others of you, it's brand new. So enjoy this border to pages layout. Here we go. And we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So today I picked the sketch on page 74. It looks like this. But I'm going to go ahead and pop it up here on the screen so we can take a bigger and better look at it. So here we go. So as you can see, it's a pretty easy sketch today. I love the sketch. I've been eyeballing this sketch for a long time. I don't know, I think it's the circle element that's hanging off, or the half circle element that's hanging off and kind of, you know, flowing into the page. I love that. And the title is housed there as well. But as far as the actual assembly of the border, and sorry, this one is kind of like upside down. It's a horizontal sketch, but because of the orientation, they had to put them upside down. But I like to focus on the black and white one anyway. The other one is just what I like to call the inspiration. So if you look at the black and white sketch, it has a base and a layer. Both of those they did do a treatment on by using a fancy blade. And then it has the top layer, which would be the punch out. Okay, so I will be changing that punch out from seashells to a birthday border today. Okay, and then that's it. Then it has that circle element, which we'll be using our custom cutting system. Then adding some simple but purposeful embellishments to the border. Okay, so let me come on back and I'll show you what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use Birthday Bonanza paper today. I have some scraps here, which is perfect for this border today. We don't need a lot of paper. I have some cardstock that I'll be using for the circle element, and then a page that I'll be creating into a page. So that's our goal today, to take the border, which I'll pop up here on the screen. Okay, let me put my cardstock aside for a moment and bring in my trimmer. I did take my blade out because I didn't want to forget my plan. And so I wanted to make sure I didn't just start cutting. I'm going to put the pink piece aside for the actual layout. I'm going to use the wave blade. I think that is the same blade. Whoops, sorry. The same blade that, oh my goodness, that they used in their inspiration sketch. I liked it. I think it's kind of playful for a birthday. But any of the blades would work based on your theme. So I'm going to go ahead and use the blue as my base. And my base and my first layer, or the only layer, will have the decorative trim from cartridge blade. Okay, let me get my measurements out here for you. And so my base, it's a thin border today, which is probably another reason why I was drawn to it. And I'm just going to cut off a little piece of waste just to get it going. And this one is going to be a 1 3/4 inch by 12 inch. Okay, and that's going to be the base. Then for the first layer, I'm going to go to this yellow. One's going to be 1 1/2 by 12 inches. And I did go ahead and put the blog post in the description of this video, so it's up at the top if you want to go look at the original blog. Okay, and there's our first layer. Let's bring that down. I can change my blade back, put this aside. We'll need that in a little bit. Next, we need to punch out our border. So I'm going to use the green for the punch out, and I am going to bring in the balloons and stars border punch. I think this is going to be perfect. Came out along with the collection. Now I think this paper is going to be a little short. I won't be able to see it, so I'm going to get a little extender. And for that I just use a sticky note. You line it up right toward the edge, right on that edge, and it just kind of gives it an extension so that the back part of the paper goes to the back of the punch and can make the punch, but you can line it up very easily in the front with the little extender. Okay, so I'm just going to punch out one of these. And it's okay if it punches your sticky note. We could just peel that off later. So has anybody made this border before? And if you did, what theme did you use? I love the one that they did in the inspiration for the seashells. That's super cute too. Okay, there we go. Now with this punch, you could really dress it up if you would like. You could make each of the balloons a different color. You could make the stars different colors. But I think for today, I like it just because I use pattern paper. I have a little bit of a design on there, and I like that. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm not going to dress that up with any more color. I'm just going to put that about midway. So the layer on top of the base, just center it into the middle of the base, and then the same thing with the stars and balloon punch out. Just going to take it right to the edge, kind of in the center as much as possible, and just center it as I lay it down. And then the next step to our border is to create the circle elements. So I'm going to just bring in my gray mat, and we're going to be using the smallest circle in our custom cutting system, and we're just going to cut 2 circles. Okay, so smallest circle in our system, I'm going to start with my lightest paper. I want the pink to be the inside of the circle, and then I'm going to use the green as the outside of the circle. So I'm going to do the red blade. That will cut closest to the template. And then I will just adhere it right on top like that. The next step would be to cut this circle, and it was recommended to, in the directions on the blog, to do about a 2-inch cut off of this circle, but you really could do whatever amount you think. I'm gonna do a little less, maybe not. Maybe I'll do like between the 1 3/4 and the 2-inch mark right there. So a tad less than 2 inches. Bring our border back in, and we're going to take the bigger part of the circle, and we are going to adhere that underneath. And you can really play with this wherever you want. Could be, if you wanted more of your photos to the side, you could put it to one side or the other. You could put it in the middle. I think I'm going to put it right off to this edge like that. And I don't want it too tucked in, but perfect. Now this other half, you could either recycle it for another project, but I'm actually going to bring this back into my layout. Okay, so there's our border, and last thing we want to do to our border is give it a little bit of decoration. So I brought in some of the stickers from the sticker sheet from this same collection, Birthday Bonanza, and I'm going to use this one that says blow out the candles will be my title, and it's going to sit somewhere right around there, kind of overlapping the border and the circular part of the border. Then I'm going to bring in this little present, which I've already put up onto some foam, and it's going to go in here, like right under, kind of at an angle underneath the title. And then I'm going to bring in the ice cream cone. I was just looking for, things that would match my layout. And this little purple star, only because I wanted to bring in a little more purple. And it's going to look like that. Okay, so same concept like we have in the sketch, just different theme. So let me go ahead and get this adhered down. Okay, that's the border. I took that sketch, turned it, which was a tropical sketch with seashells, very simple. You can change this out to whatever theme you are having for your layout, and made it into a birthday border. So let me bring in my other supplies and we'll make a quick layout. So the Birthday Bonanza the bundle came with Fast to Fab inspired pages. So they're like Fast to Fab, but they are just regular paper. Okay, both sides have a design on it. I wanted this paper mainly because it has some really light pink dots on it, and this is going to be an evening when we were celebrating both my mom and my daughter's birthday years ago, and my border is going to go right up here. But I don't want all of this, so I'm going to cover all that up with a strip of this pink. And I'm thinking I want to do about, I'll do 4.5 inches. I could always trim it back down. So I'm going to tuck that right under there, cover it up completely, and it just totally changed the whole look. Okay, so that's my basic page design. Let me bring in the photos, show you what I'm working on with today. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so I have 2 that are 4x6. Don't think I've trimmed these down at all, but they'll fit just like that. And then these I did trim down. I had a lot of empty space and I wanted to just focus on fitting it in this side. There we go. So it'll look like that. Simple, simple. Had my border. I already did most of my work with the border. So here's where I want to bring back in this half circle. So I want it to kind of coordinate with this circle here. And I need somewhere to put my journaling, so I'm going to bring it right over here, and I am going to tuck these a little bit over, a little further over. In fact, I think I am going to trim this down just a little trim, but it's going to give me a little bit more room on the page. So even with this border protruding down in, it still gives you room to house 2 4x6s underneath. That's pretty good. There we go. So my journaling will go right here. I don't really have a lot to say. This is just going to be a page in our family album of how we normally celebrate their birthdays together, and we've done that for years, so I don't need to really have a lot to say. Okay, so I do want to add a little bit more embellishing to my page. So I want to kind of do something here. So I thought, what can I bring in? So I brought in some more of some stickers. There were one is a sticker. This was a sticker. And I think it's going to fit perfectly here and cover up some other stuff in my photo that we don't need to see. And this one was a die cut. And I'm just going to bring them like that. So kind of giving me just a little more fun with my theme. Then I brought in this sticker. It says wrapped with love. I thought that's super cute, and so I kind of wanted it over here. Let me pull these up just a tad. There we go. Goes all the way to the top of that photo. I like that. And bring in the little tag, and it'll just hang off the balloons like that. I'm going to bring in a little bit of finishing touches. Let's see if there's anything we like. These are some enamels. I do feel like I don't have any other purple than that, so I actually might bring in these purple ones. Oops. And maybe just do something down here. I'll bring in all of them actually, and maybe just kind of give it a little bit of a semicircle around this circle down here. Of course, I got it stuck on the page pretty good. There we go. One more, probably better off with just my nails. Okay, I'll have to align. I forgot that wasn't adhered. And it'll look like that. That way I'm bringing in some purple down here. And up here, I kind of like this dark pink balloon. I feel like my border needs a little bit more pink in it, so dark pink. I will just tuck that right over there. Yeah. And there we go. I like it. And my page is done. So all I have to do is get all this adhered down and do my little bit of journaling, and I'm ready to put that into my album. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye.